Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, man convicted in 2002 of sexually assaulting child seeks suspended sentence. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
48-year-old Kyle Russman has spent more than 15 years in the state prison after pleading guilty in late 2002 to crimes involving a young girl. The prosecutor at the time said Russman had been victimizing her over the course of 18 months, entering her house late at night while her family slept and videotaping his sexual assaults on her.
My daughter was a victim, and she has had a certain amount of comfort in her life, knowing that there was not going to be any kind of her having to run into him anywhere.
Those words from the victim's mother came as Russman asked a judge to suspend the rest of his minimum 18 to 36-year sentence, making him eligible for parole after the completion of a sex offender program this winter.
I've worked tremendously with the therapist. They have a great relationship, and I understand the support system I've created with family and friends on the street are what are going to allow me to be successful.
The victim's mother says her daughter remains concerned.
She has expressed to me that she is afraid for other kids.
His attorney says he's been a good prisoner. Others in court don't think that's enough.
Please, Your Honor, let us live our sentence till the end, because the day Kyle walks free, we will all start a whole nother sentence we should not have to live.
The judge is taking time to decide the case. No matter what the judge rules, Kyle Russman will be eligible for parole in July of 2019. In Brentwood, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. EU rules that Uber is a transport service, not a digital company. Uber is a taxi company, according to a landmark ruling from Europe's highest court. The European Court of Justice, ECJ, ruled Wednesday that the U.S. ride-hauling app is a transporting firm and not a digital company. The verdict is a long-awaited judgment expected to have a major implications for how Uber is regulated throughout Europe. Senate Republicans pass sweeping tax measure bill, returns to House after snuff. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Ash, what are you doing? I thought you had a cold.
I don't need all this. Mucinex Fast Max is powerful enough to handle pretty much every symptom.
Name one.
How about 9? Sore throat, cough, even...
Yeah, I can read, you know.
We're done here.
Ah, boogers to Betsy!
Mucinex Fast Max. 9 symptoms, 1 dose, max strength. Start the relief, ditch the misery. Let's end this. And for kids' multi-symptom relief, try #1 recommended children's Mucinex.
We begin with the breaking headline involving your money, your taxes. President Trump one step closer to his first major legislative victory since being elected. But tonight, a last-minute holdup. The House voting today to approve the Republican tax cuts by a strict party line vote. But late today, word coming in, they will now have to vote all over again. So why the temporary halt? And look at the new poll numbers coming in tonight. When Americans were asked who will benefit most from this tax bill, 4 separate polls showing more than 60% of Americans say it will be the wealthy who benefit most. So tonight here, will the president still sign this into law before Christmas? And who wins, who loses? And will there be any voting tonight? ABC's Mary Bruce leading us off from the Hill.
House Speaker Paul Ryan today excitedly gavelled in the first major legislative win of the Trump administration.
The yeas are 227 and the nays are 203. The conference report is adopted without objection. The motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
His gavel rolling off the podium as the biggest tax overhaul in 3 decades cleared a major hurdle in the House. But tonight, a procedural snag will force them to vote again tomorrow. Still, earlier Republicans were ecstatic.
Today, we are giving the people of this country their money back.
But the Speaker interrupted by one of many protesters on the Hill. Across the country tonight, Americans are asking how this bill will affect them. Corporate America will see the biggest tax cut from 35% to 21%. That cut is permanent. Tax cuts for individuals will expire in 8 years. But in the meantime, they will see their standard deduction and child tax credit doubled. But a new study shows Americans making $75,000 a year or less will actually see their taxes go up within a decade, while wealthy Americans will continue to see a tax cut. Tonight, Republicans insist this bill will benefit the middle class.
You guys go do your homework on the thing.
You don't trust the analysis?
Are you kidding? The $40,000 woman, single mom, is going to get over $1,000 back.
Americans who live in states where taxes are highest could pay a big price because the new law will limit deductions for state and local income and property taxes, capping them at a combined $10,000. In New Jersey, Trump voter Cassie Smith is concerned it will take money out of her pocket.
When we don't get the deduction on our tax return, that the property value will go down. So how am I going to try and sell that house?
The states likely to be hardest hit: New Jersey, New York, and California. It's primarily why those 12 House Republicans voted no. Congressman, are you still a no?
I am, yeah. Still no.
Republicans argue the major tax cuts for corporate America will trickle down to Main Street America, leading to hiring and higher wages. But skeptics say don't count on it. Some have pointed to this moment. A room full of CEOs recently asked how many plan to use the money they save to reinvest in their company and their workers.
Just a show of hands, the tax reform goes through?
Okay. Why aren't the other hands up?
Even the president's top economic advisor wondering out loud why so few hands went up. And what about health care? The law repeals the individual mandate that all Americans have insurance. That could cause 13 million more Americans to be uninsured over the next decade. And if healthy Americans opt not to buy insurance, premiums for others could skyrocket. The bill is deeply unpopular. New polls show Americans believe this will benefit the rich. We asked the Speaker, any concern that this won't translate into a political win for Republicans?
No concerns whatsoever. Results are going to make this popular.
So you heard it there, no concerns tonight. Results, they say, they're promising are on the way. Should this pass in the hours and day ahead, which we do believe it will, Mary. This bill first passing in the House, but now late word as we were coming on the air this afternoon that they'll now have to vote again because of something the Senate Democrats have now pointed out?
Yeah, David, this is essentially a procedural snafu, but it creates a real headache for House Republicans. The bill includes several provisions that are not related to tax reform. Republicans now have to change that and then vote again. But bottom line, this bill is still expected to pass.
All right, one more bottom line. When will the president actually sign this bill? Will he be able to keep his promise to sign this before Christmas?
Well, the White House is now suggesting that the president may not sign this until the new year, saying that the process to get the paperwork to the president's desk may actually take some time. David, the president has promised Americans tax reform for Christmas, and now they're suggesting that might not happen. David?
We can hear the voices of some of the Americans gathered there in the Capitol behind you, Mary. Thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And also we have a question of the day for you. We want to hear from you. What do you think about this GOP bill that would cut taxes? Comment below and let us know. We want to hear from all of you. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast. I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.